Guarding this lighthouse pays an annual salary of $1.2 million, which is approximately 10 crore. Do you have the courage to take on this job? You'll have no boss watching over you while you're working here. You can sleep and wake up whenever you want, enjoy the view, and go fishing. Your only responsibility is to ensure that the light at the top of the lighthouse functions correctly. That's all you need to do to earn 10 crore, just make sure the light works properly. However, unfortunately, the good news ends here and the bad news begins. This is one of the most dangerous jobs in the world, guarding the lighthouse at Juman. This lighthouse is in the middle of the ocean. Before you send in your resume for this job, you should know that you won't have anyone to talk to here. Loneliness will be your constant companion, and the most dangerous part is that this area is prone to severe storms. These storm waves can reach tens of meters high, crashing into the tower. There is a real risk of losing your life in this job. This picture was taken during a rescue operation, showing how the lighthouse keeper was surrounded by the storm. If the storm waves completely covered the lighthouse, his life would have been in danger. Knowing all this, do you still have the courage to apply for this job? After hearing about this unusual job, you might be wondering why this lighthouse was built and why it's so important to keep its light always shining. To understand this, we need to look at the origins of lighthouses. This story goes back to ancient times when there were no roads or cars for traveling. The best way to travel long distances was by water. There was a sailor named Captain Martius, known for his daring sea voyages. One night, while passing through a very dark area of water with large rocks beneath the surface, his wooden ship collided with the rocks. The ship got damaged, overturned, and he suffered significant losses. After this incident, Captain Martius thought there must be a solution to this problem to warn others of such dangers. This was one problem, and the other was the vastness of the ocean. To give you an idea, if we gathered all the land on Earth, combining all 7 continents, the Pacific Ocean would still be larger. Imagine placing 5 moons in this area, and the Pacific Ocean would still be larger. This gives you an idea of how immense the ocean is. In ancient times, sailors had no way of knowing how far the next land was or the correct direction. Navigation was the biggest challenge since there was no GPS or advanced system to guide them. GPS was invented in 1973 and became available to the public in 1978. Back then, sailors had to rely on the sun, stars, and early navigation tools to cross the endless sea. This unreliable navigation led to several problems. For example, Captain Ellis faced such challenges while crossing the Pacific Ocean with his crew. One night, clouds covered the stars, making it impossible to navigate. Then, a severe storm hit, and they lost their way. By morning, they were lost in the open ocean with no food or water. Hunger and thirst took a toll on the crew. Ocean water is too salty for humans to drink, which can lead to death. Despite being surrounded by water, they were thirsty. Many crew members died, but Captain Ellis eventually found land, and they stopped there. The world's first lighthouse was about to be built in Egypt, by the Mediterranean Sea, in the ancient city of Alexandria. The ruler at the time, Ptolemy II Philadelphus, had a kingdom that was a major hub for trade and culture. However, the biggest issue was its location. If you look closely at this picture, ships had to pass through this area to reach the city, which had many rocks. Ships traveling fast at night would collide with these underwater rocks, causing them to sink and lose their cargo, which caused significant losses for the kingdom. To ensure the safety of marine trade routes, King Ptolemy summoned the era's expert and brilliant architect, Sostratus of Cnidus, for help. Together, they devised an excellent plan to build a large tower of light to guide ships safely and warn them of the dangers lurking beneath the waves. Sostratus worked with determination. Let's begin. Little did they know that what they were creating would become one of the greatest engineering marvels of the ancient world, the Pharos of Alexandria. This lighthouse stood proudly on the island of Pharos off the coast of Alexandria. It reached a height of 384 feet and was made of white marble. At the top of this lighthouse, a large fire burned continuously, supplied with oil and wood. The Pharos of Alexandria was considered one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, not just for its size but also for its ingenious design. Sostratus, the architect, incorporated a system of mirrors and lenses to amplify the light, making it visible to ships miles away. As news of the lighthouse spread, sailors far and wide breathed a sigh of relief. Thanks to this lighthouse, they no longer had to navigate the treacherous, rocky waters near Alexandria. The world's first lighthouse became a symbol of safety for sailors, and the concept of the lighthouse spread worldwide. Initially, lighthouses were built along coastlines, but as global trade increased, they began to be constructed in busy oceanic trade routes, particularly where rocks posed a significant threat to ships. This is why you can now find lighthouses in the middle of the ocean in various locations. Early lighthouses used fire, but this wasn't an ideal solution since it required a constant supply of wood, oil, and coal. Later, candles, gas lamps, and oil lamps were used, but the light from these sources wasn't very bright. With the advent of electricity and the invention of the light bulb, lighthouses transitioned to electric bulbs because they provided stronger light. However, the question remained of how to project this light miles away. The answer lay in lenses. Until the 1800s, reflectors were placed behind the light source, but engineers realized they could focus the light more effectively by placing the lens in front of the light. This led to the innovation by French physicist and engineer Augustin-Jean Fresnel. He designed a lens that was thinner and focused all the light into a single point. This way, scattered light could be directed in one direction. Most modern lighthouses now use Fresnel lenses, which revolutionized lighthouse technology, allowing the light to be seen from miles away. With the help of these lighthouses, ships could easily be warned of dangers. So, about that job I mentioned at the start of the video, earning 10 crore to live at the Juman Lighthouse and ensure the light keeps shining. Are you still interested in this job? Let me know in the comments. This lighthouse was built in ancient times and greatly improved marine trade safety worldwide. However, not all ancient kings were benevolent. Some rulers imposed extreme punishments for minor crimes that would make your hair stand on end. I've made a video about 6 such cruel punishments, and I highly recommend you watch it. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Chat.